They went to that.
Crazy just
they were kind of like when John first started with Alexander, it was kind of like mismatch, you know. Like she would take kids and they would have, you know, an activity or a craft, and then they would have swimming, and the kids had to do like show them what they knew, and then so they were in swim lessons at certain times. So like her kids were always at 10:30 to 11, so when breakfast started at 9, so they could go up at 9 and do a craft and then go to their swim lesson. But now, yeah, Mr. Guarano, and it was very regimented, which was a lot nicer. Like they took whoever was in had signed up, they kept them kind of close.
The only reason I saw hers is because she's
like we're taking her from the yeah. And so like and they round robin like with this is A at or something, and he knew Group B. So Group B on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, whatever this week. Oh, I'm like, you want? Oh, okay. I'm like, why did oh, yeah, and I mean, like, so it was very, they kind of recommended they don't miss a lot, but Jessica kind of did because, like, they went camping the week.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 19:10. We do have a quorum. Everybody's had a chance to go over the previous minutes. I know we haven't had a meeting in a while, so I appreciate everybody showing up tonight.
18.
I'm going to start with a combination of old business and the report from the program agency. Robert's going to bring us up to date on their status with the gateway and his report.
So regarding the gateway progress, so I asked a question just the other day just to make sure that I had all the information correct. Everything that can be uploaded to the gateway is done. We have straightened out the incorporation paperwork with the state, but we're at a standstill right now, and that standstill is because of the new director, Ryan Greenberg. He was down at the office. When was he down there?
That's a month.
Yeah. So, and he did. The only concern I have is that he has the thought process in his head that he asks the question, why does he want to invest time and money into reestablishing this when there's already one that's already established? It's not to say that he's going to move us Big Lakes down into Wyoming area and merge us, but the thought process there does have me just a smidgy concerned. But he has not approved anything going forward yet, so we don't have the funds to support submitting for the 501c3 yet. We keep annoying, we keep hounding, we keep talking to Tom Behana down at the state as well. We're doing everything we can, so we're at a standstill. We're in a whole pattern right now.
Is that a question for you, Ed? He has that ultimate say if we merge?
I can say this is that what Rob says is absolutely true, that Charlotte has been, Charlotte met with them, Rob met with them, I was there at the meeting, and certainly they were pushing that process. And I will say this from my perspective, I communicated with Tom Behana and with Ryan about what a good relationship between Big Lakes and Lake Plains, and how that everybody's on board with getting this thing resolved, and the relationship is good and moving that process down the way. He said he didn't have enough information to make an informed decision at that point, and he was going to analyze it. And I will say this, that he, he's very, he's a business-minded kind of person, and he's an objective fact finder and whatever. But he's also got a a series of additional layers that he has to work through. So I sent him an email prior to coming here saying, can I get an update? I mean, I know this is gonna be a big topic here. And he said, unfortunately, no, but they're planning on scheduling conference calls and trying to focus on what the answer's gonna be. I don't know. He didn't give me any indication as to which way it was, gonna flow or not, but.
So it is ultimately his
Yeah,
decision.
I think it's
right?
ultimately his and his boss's decision related to it. Now, there's, I think he's gotta do a little bit more, certainly more research and to make sure that the, any state dollars that are spent, he's gotta have to, justify and, basically be accountable for. So, I think that's a big piece of it. And I think the other piece of it is that, he's new to the bureaucratic processes that where Lee, would have known, So I can't judge it though. I don't wanna send a message of false hope, but I don't wanna send a message of dismay. I just don't know, so,
Just to refresh, sorry, 1 second, just to refresh maybe some people that weren't on the council back a few years ago, but the state attempted to do this, and there have been talks about taking councils and smushing them together, whether we went with Milren's or they split our area in half and gave us the, Wyoming Erie and then Milren's. And this is, my thought process on it is, if that happens, it doesn't matter if you're the city of Niagara Falls, Upper Mountain, Byron, Virgin, Cova, we're gonna lose representation at that level. Cheryl and I had that conversation on the phone today, about a couple of years ago and what was talked about. So I think it would behoove us to do something, whether it's write a letter now from our individual departments, this council, the county councils, and maybe all of the above, to say, we matter, this is why we matter, rural EMS, whether you're career or volunteer, we're gonna lose a voice at the state and at the local level.
And that was also
Do you
conveyed,
think he would
Steve.
meet with us before he made that decision?
I don't think that he would object to that.
Okay.
So, I think we'll know a bit more, like I say, within the next couple of weeks as far as, I know that he's planning having conference calls, I know that he's been, quite busy in, all over
Yeah.
the state, being pulled in a million and one directions, but I know that, we have emphasized that this has gotta be a priority, we've gotta get a decision, and we've gotta get this thing, rectified, so, that's what I can say, but I don't have any other information.
John, did you have a comment?
He answered half of my question, which was, where would we go if it happened? But the other thing, and I need some help on this because I don't have 100% recall on it, but if you go back to when we put all of this together, and maybe a couple of you were around, but not many more, John, maybe you were around, this whole thing tied to something, the reason you ended up being separate, somehow tied to medical directors?
Well,
Or,
no.
there was a unique reason for it.
My understanding is back around the lawsuit time, because at one time, we were all kind of together, 8 counties in western New York, and the program agency, which was REMS, if I remember right,
Yep.
was dissolved. And then we had to form get another program agency, and the original plan was to have us have the 8 counties have one program agency.
Yep.
However, and I was on that committee. Not sure who I should thank for that, but I was on that committee. And we had a conference call one night, and based on my telephone, because I had the capabilities of doing that, and we all decided that we would vote down the road a week or two and have one program agency. Wyoming, Erie, the next day, signed with somebody else.
I remember that.
But it even goes back earlier than that. It goes back, there was something that was unique to this area that it's coming back. It had to do with seats on, still got it, seats on the CMAC and on the SEMSCO. And it did involve the medical directors. And if we had somehow all come together, like you're saying, a couple of seats on the SEMSCO would have been proof.
Yeah, it's gonna limit the representation at every level, not just the EMT level, and representation here, but the medical doctors as well.
But that was the key. We weren't the key.
No.
We're not the key.
I don't think we ever
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
It rolls
That's
down.
the point.
They're the ones that.
That's the point.
Yeah.
And I don't want to insult anybody, but our voice is not as powerful as that group. So I would suggest that maybe that be explored.
Because originally it was our three counties, Wyoming, Erie, Allegheny, Chautauqua, and Cattaraugus. Were the original 8 counties.
And I think this is starting to come back, and I'm not going to be 100% correct. There were three medical director seats.
No, it was REMAC, just REMAC. And a lot of it had to do with Roger Langers too.
If you want to survive, you got to figure out the path that's going to make you survive. It carries the most weight. That's the only way to survive.
And we went through getting the program agencies and so forth, and eventually the 3 of us all selected different program agencies.
Yeah, we actually thought we got sold out. You didn't.
I mean, we used to have meetings at South Wales Fire Hall about all this stuff. I kind of thought that the way that we were arranged by, like for Big Lakes, that was in the Article 30, Part 800, and I didn't see what, I'd have to reread that where he has any authority to do anything without our okey dokies.
I think that needs to be explored, you know, I mean, I think the issue comes down to is the way I understand it is that the organization wasn't incorporated, you know, the existence of the corporation and technically of Big Lakes, how it, you know, wasn't necessarily, all those pieces, not only just to get on the gateway, but were fundamentally not, you know, established in the proper way or years ago. So I don't know enough about it. It's, you know, it's between.
What happened back then, I've only been doing this, I don't know, 20 years or something like
Yeah.
that. And it was all here when I got here.
Right, no, I understand, yeah.
And, but if we're a corporation, which we apparently are, an outside person can't dissolve that corporation, period.
Right.
And now, if he's a director, he may have a lot of persuasion, but I don't think he can say,
Yeah, you know, obviously, he's got to comply with Article 30, you know what I mean, those rules and regulations. I don't think there's any, you know, going around that without potentially changing the law. I don't know enough level of detail as to what, you know, which way he's going, so I don't, you know, I don't have the information, so I got nothing to share, you know.
and corporations not only come under the public health law, but they come under the corporate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're not a corporation. Per Lake Plains, with all the information they've dug up, we're not a corporation.
Well,
I think
we
that's
are
the
now.
problem, John, is-
We are now?
The incorporation paperwork has been
Okay,
fixed.
so that's fine.
We're just not a 501c3.
But you weren't.
We were before, because that was found, it was actually, Andrew brought that up to Charlotte and said, we were a corporation. Here is the information. He went online and actually found that, because the name was different. It was some big lake, some other name.
Oh, really?
It was just an odd way the name was put together, but he found it. We gave that to Charlotte and the group, and they turned around and said, that Tom and his group said, we're just gonna take that as if it never was there and start fresh with new numbers and everything. He said that would be a lot
I think
cleaner
there
and
was a
easier.
whole, I think if I'm not, and maybe Rob can tell us this, but I think there was like 3 or 4 different FEIN numbers that were filed. or
There were
something.
3.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it got messy.
I don't know enough about it to get,
Yeah.
to be accurately describing it, but I know,
They just
whenever,
keep
whenever
general.
they assessed it, that was part of it.
Oh, we're down to 1.
We're down to
You got-
one.
They did away with it, and I will tell you that, was Colleen.
Colleen did a lot of
She's done a
it.
fabulous job.
Oh, yeah,
with that.
absolutely.
Have you been involved in any of the calls or is?
Not as of yet, but there's one brewing apparently.
Okay. I mean, if they're having discussions about the council, you know, I know they're working on the paperwork aspect. If that's up to the point where it is, things moving forward, you guys should be at those meetings or those conference
That
calls,
next
whatever
step.
transpires from here on out.
That next step is being worked on.
Okay, just so.
But as far as this whole combining us with another council, Steve and I were just talking, and I think what I'd like to do is set up an ad hoc committee to jump on this and start talking to medical directors and everybody that we can get on board as far as letter writing or support or whatever. And I'd like to at least 3 people. And I hate to keep tapping John here, but he probably got a lot of roots already established in a lot of this. And
As long as I get back to North Carolina on the 15th.
Just have all the work done by the end of the month.
Yeah, I'll tell you about the 14th later.
I mean, if John would be willing to be involved, and if I could get somebody from Niagara and Orleans as well, that would be great.
If I have to. I'm just thinking the same thing. Here's Niagara.
We've got John and Lori and Cheryl.
And the EMS Niagara Council's tomorrow afternoon. That meeting's tomorrow.
Are you gonna be there?
23rd, so we got ours 23rd. So we, even if we got a letter typed and just said, here you go, I mean, if we had 13 or whatever, there's 13 letters we can have done, or get them out to the fire, well, that's gotta go to fire advisory, because the chief will have to sign it. Yeah, we could get that out through the EMS council, push that up to them, get it out to, you know, through our county or council email.
We form a letter and then just spit it out to everybody.
Maybe develop some key talking points. I think that worked out. Got some experience with
So we're all
that.
saying the same thing?
So, but very similar, you're putting it in your own words. You know, we did a door-to-door campaign here not too long ago with some key talking points, and it was just the guys, palm cards, whatever. And that way, you get a form letter that's just got a name filled in on it, and signature at the bottom, it just goes in a round file somewhere, so. So one-on-one conversations seems the best.
Conversations, the letters.
You wanna work on something tomorrow morning, is that what you?
I can't tomorrow morning. No, I already have appointments for tomorrow.
Is it? You know, if the meeting is tomorrow afternoon,
I think Rob and I can explain, and then we'll just have to
You'll
do
be
a
hearing,
letter.
and then you'll be hearing from us shortly.
Yeah, then we'll just get a
So-
letter. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think Dale had a good idea back here too about knocking on the doors of the Senate Assembly guys in the area, maybe 7 letters out.
Well, if we could get our county coordinators involved, I mean, that would be great, even if it's just in the form of an official letter.
Definitely. Like I mentioned with Jerry, I mean, I know you're talking 3 counties, so you have Senator Ort, Rassenhofer, and probably 2 or 3 assembly people, but I don't think letters of support ever hurt for anything.
Absolutely not. Thank you. Didn't mean to delay your.
Oh, no. Didn't mean to stir the pot.
Oh, the pot constantly needs stirring.
Yeah. So, regards my regular report, I do have some flyers for some upcoming things. A lot of EMT classes coming out. There is a mental health first aid course at the Genesee County Fire Training Center in September. From what I understand, it's a very good class. Melody Kolmitz is teaching. I recommend that if you have the opportunity to come out, please do so and sign up. Everything's on the Lake Plains website. East Shelby has their annual CME conference coming up with Paul Warfel. I was informed that he's going to come up with some different topics this year. So I would encourage, if you're interested in that, please sign up. There are a couple of other things that I want to bring up. We put out for a CLI class at the end of October, or I'm sorry, middle of October, right after vital signs. Within a matter of a week, it filled up, just like that. And I went way past the quota that we had to cut it off at. So with that, I've been talking to Jim Maholko, who is actually the CIC of record for that class. He's going to probably put out another one in November, beginning of December. Once I get approval from the state on that, I will put it out again. So if anybody's still interested, we'll have registration for that. We're also projecting of doing a CIU. Based on the new rules, it has to be broken down into 2 CIUs in order to get 6 hours for it. That'll be November 30th. And once I get information on that, I'll put it out as well. I know I'm also supposed to meet with Barb down in Cova. She wants to host a CIU as well. So we're trying to get a lot of this instructor stuff kind of moving now. So please just keep your eyes out for that information. Some changes that occurred over the since the last meeting. Byron Rescue went from EMT to advanced EMT with their ambulance. And Genesee County has shifted from Dr. Conley to Dr. Peterson now. They had this regime change that occurred, and Dr. Conley actually left the area. She'll still be at UMMC on a periodic basis, but it wasn't enough for her to maintain the medical director status in Genesee County, so we did a mass change down there. I'm still waiting on 2 more applications for that. The agencies know who they are, and we'll get that done. Also, Cambria Fire changed their medical director from Dr. Brown to Dr. Klementowski, and Wendellville added CPAP to their list, BLS CPAP. Credentialing ended on June 30th. So July 1st, we actually had 15 agencies that were considered late. And I sent letters to all those agencies. Since that, I did get compliance with 100% in the county by August 1st, which was good because I didn't want to send the big bad letters. I will say this, with REMAC, they were taking a very hard stance. They actually wanted to take agencies off July 1st, offline completely if they were not in compliance, due to the fact that when they updated all their policies, they forgot to remove the 30-day window. That is why people were given another 30 days. My guess is that will not happen next year. I'm guessing they'll review that policy and they'll remove that 30-day window from there. I want to encourage that. It seemed to think that there's a misunderstanding. The credentialing only has to be done sometime throughout the year. Does not have to be by June 30th. So if you're actually doing credentialing earlier in the year and you get it done, just submit it to me and you actually get credit. All they're saying is by June 30th, they want all their credentialing paperwork into the program agency for verification. So if you're bored in the middle of winter and you have nothing going on and you get your credentialing done, submit the paperwork to me, and you'll get credit for the next following year. All right. If there's any questions on that, please get in touch with me or Charlotte. The EPCR platform, the regional elite site is up and running now. We have brought on, we're bringing on entities one at a time, and we're bringing them on by software vendor. The first vendor that came online with the regional elite site was AMR and their MEDS program, and it seems to be going pretty good. The next one that's slated to come online is going to be EMS charts. I have reached out to my EMS charts agencies. They just so you know, as I reach out to you, I'm looking for a new 5136 form to be filled out to report NEMSIS 3.4 data. I need that back as soon as possible. With the EMS charts, I have 2 agencies that I'm still waiting on. Again, I've reached out to them and given them the, if you don't do this, you're not going to report to the state, which means you're going to be non-compliant with data. And then you'll have to deal with the state on that aspect. So please, if I send you the form, that means I'm looking for it because your agency is about to go, or your software vendor is about to go online. But thus far, all the data seems to be coming in. I'm excited because we're now getting AMR data, which is a huge amount of data, huge amount. I mean, I don't have their historical data in my regional site, but we have collected the historical data at the state site, so we've got years back since 2016, I think, is when they came on board. So very exciting because they got a lot of data. We did, like I mentioned, we did meet with Director Greenberg at our office. It was a visit that was occurring not because of what was going on here, but just in general. That just became one of the hot topics while he was there. Seems to be, I mean, he has great ideas. He has great wants and desires. I don't know how he's going to get through those, but we'll have to forward and see how that's going to go. He has taken a kind of a hiatus to go back to the office and do some things, but I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back out again sometime in the near future and starts reaching out to people. He loves to pop in on EMT classes, from what he has said, so if you're a core sponsor, don't be surprised if he comes walking in. Vital Signs registration has opened. It is in Syracuse this year, and I've already seen it's going to be in Buffalo again next year. So if you're interested, register on the Vital Signs website. And that's pretty much it. We do have the Niagara County meeting tomorrow. Orleans isn't until like October, right? Yeah, and then next week is Genesee County meeting. So. Any questions from me?
Thank you, Robert.
You bet.
And thank all the folks at Lake Plains for all the hard work.
I will do that.
Go on to the treasurer's report.
Not much to say. The balance on 4/11 was $1,749.82. One check was written for $14.04 to Alliance Support Reporting. No deposits. Balance as of today is $1,735.78. Yeah, that's right. And I have the bank statement if anybody would like to see the latest bank statement.
Maybe we can just yell it.
Under new business, I want to welcome Bob Tedford to our group. City of Batavia Fire, he's taken over for Tom Douglas. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to bring up for new business? Sean?
It's just regarding the emails. Rick was saying he didn't get an email today reminding us about the meeting. So my only suggestion maybe is, do you have the email addresses on the form there?
Mhm.
Yes.
Maybe everybody should check their email address and take a copy, make sure we've got, the records are up to date.
Sure.
For some reason, he's not getting it, so.
Sure. Did you check spam? Sometimes it goes to spam, that's why I asked.
Because he was getting them before, and then
Yeah,
he said.
so-
Yeah, it's happened to me. I get them and then all of a sudden I don't, and I'm like, and I send them.
Yeah,
And then I look in my spam folder and all of a sudden it's there
and
again.
it's there, but it's just one of those things, if anybody else isn't getting it, maybe they should say something now so that, you know.
I'd be more than happy to double check though.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if everybody could check their email address on here, as well as the list of the delegates, and make sure that we have the most current folks on there, because there's been a few changes lately.
I didn't get the email message last time, and I went to an empty parking lot.
Maybe we're just trying to tell you something, right?
And I did send that, I actually sent that one out Monday before the meeting, because Wade texted me over,
We'll have to take it on the county level too, and maybe send it out just to try to make sure we cover everything. It's a one-off maybe, but just a thought.
I'll take a look.
October 10th.
It could have bounced it too.
Yeah.
John, did you have something? I thought I saw your hand. Okay.
Really good.
Okay. Okay, we'll go on to the committee reports. I think we need some updating on some CON status.
The only thing I had was on COVA. Dana had reached out to me a couple weeks ago. He was looking for some documents that either he misplaced or never made it through to him. They were the transcripts. He had the video recordings and everything he uploaded for the ALJ, but needed the transcripts. I sent them over to Robert and he uploaded it. I don't know what you call it, MTA, or through their secure website.
Yeah, it's their
We have to
secure
send
2.0.
documents to because of the file size. Dana did let me know immediately that he did get those documents to pass along to the ALJ. I'm not sure what the status is of the appeal with the con, but, you know, I was talking with Lori about it, and she hasn't heard anything. I don't think you have anything that you've heard.
It was in the ALJ's hands, that's all I know.
And it's just a matter of a waiting game, and that could be up to a year or so, depends on how quick they move with it. So, but I told her I'll reach out to Dana and maybe see if he's heard anything through the grapevine, and, you know, without stirring the pot or,
Right.
you know. But other than that, that was the only one. The other one was I can't remember the one that Andrew was gonna pick up and run with the ball in it, because it was in Niagara County. I can't remember which fire department it pertained to. It had to do with the hamlet, the village of.
Oh, it was a wording.
Yeah, it was the
thing, yeah.
wording, and he was gonna be working on that, but
Yes.
without him being here tonight to give an update or anything, I don't have anything on that one, so. I think it was Ransomville, yeah. And
It's
the
not
boundaries
established,
are
it's not an
right.
incorporated village, it's not a.
There's no village, there's no hamlet or
There's
whatever, but
townships.
the boundaries were correct, and they just wanted, you had to look at that, reach out to the fire departments, get basically a letter, and the council would send something to the state to say, hey, we would like to make sure that the records are updated to reflect that, and everyone's aware that there is no hamlet, no village. And really, there's no change other than a formal letter.
And I think the territory matched the fire district.
Yes,
exactly.
everything matched, it's just on their original application, for some reason, they had that wording in there, and nobody caught it.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything else? In that case, I'll accept the motion to adjourn. John Malinchuk?
Second.
Second, Stanley Cooley, all in favor?